There is a police chase going on at high rates of speed in the core of the city. This is right east of the plaza, last associated with about 40th and Troost. This is the pickup truck that police are chasing. And if you could have seen what we were watching just a couple of minutes ago, dozens of police cars at varying degrees of distance from this truck, following it, trying to get to it. There was traffic pulled over. We've seen it go by a school bus barely getting out of the way in time. Captain Greg Borden, and there you can see police are right there on the tail. Captain Greg Borden is in SkyTracker as always. And Captain, can you give us an idea of where we are and what you've seen? We'll continue to try to get Captain. It can be a very difficult thing to maneuver this over the city. You have to watch out for so many things when you're flying over this. But if you can see, this truck is taking very dangerous turns through vehicles that have pulled over or stopped at stoplights. And you can see police are whipping around right behind him. We do know that initially, at least, we're not sure exactly why so many would be chasing, but we do know initially they believe the person in this truck has traffic charges and then tried to ram or attempted to ram perhaps a couple of police cars is what we're hearing. So as we watch this maneuver around parts of the city, we're continuing to follow this, a very active time for school buses in our city. This is northbound on Broadway. And you can see, oh my goodness, you can see this person moving at a fairly high rate of speed for this area. And you can see there the street signs indicating a curve coming up and emerging. If you know this area, you know right where we are as it merges. You can go either right or left right there at that divide. Our shot a little sketchy through this area, but here you go again. So we're just going to watch this with you folks because this is a very dangerous situation for people in the core of the city. Has now crossed over that median heading into the wrong direction of traffic. This always makes you nervous for anybody. Now, I believe, if I understand that, that's I-35 below this. Going the wrong way onto the interstate now. This is I-35 heading in the wrong direction of traffic. This is north on the southbound lanes of I-35, just southwest of the core of the city. Heart-stopping moment here as you imagine vehicles approaching this. We'll just watch this with you. This is happening right now as police pursue this truck, now exiting onto the on-ramp for I-35. And that is I-35 over the top of that, now going underneath and cutting off traffic and heading, I think this is north again. Down the southwest corner of the city. I always imagine what it must be like to be that driver, by the way, that just found this truck up on his tail and now is seeing police cars pass him in droves in pursuit of this truck. I think I know where we are. I know there's a Perkins nearby this area. We're seeing the white truck or the white buildings down in there. How are we doing with trying to get audio for Captain? I know if he can safely talk to us, we'd like to get him on the microphone. Now cutting across a field or little area that's undeveloped there. I think we're heading east at this point. It's hard to keep track, but down in the crossroads area, perhaps. School bus again. We've seen now a couple of school buses pulled over or stopped in the path of this truck. And I'm not sure if SkyTracker can hear us since this is 17th and Baltimore now. If we could zoom out just a little bit to see what kind of police presence we have behind this vehicle as we pass around one of those developed. So that's Baltimore. Here we are turning just south of the loop there. Eastbound on Truman, now heading over the interstate, heading into the core of downtown. A pedestrian. Do you see that person right there on the corner? Now the wrong way on Truman. Heading near the Sprint Center at this point. Yeah, this is the wrong way. We're watching this with you folks as this is unfolding again. Police pursuing this individual on what we were told was some sort of a traffic violation, and that the driver may have tried to ram a couple of police cars during that pursuit. And we've been following it for about 10 minutes now, bringing it to you live now for at least 5 minutes as we've watched this person maneuver through the wrong lane of traffic on the interstate or highway. Still the wrong direction. You can see that he's hugging the shoulder there, trying to at least not drive directly into that traffic. A little bit wider shoulder there for a moment, but now look at this, smack in the middle of the interstate.
He's been through downtown and Crossroads, kind of what we've been so far.
Mike Maruzars is in the, oh my goodness, just clipped the front end of that vehicle that was heading in the right direction. This is I-70 now, heading in the wrong direction. Mike Maruzars is down in the studio, in the newsroom now, trying to gather information on this driver. What else we know, Mike?
Well, we know that we're all holding our breaths as this is the second time that this person has driven the wrong way on an interstate, and thankfully now getting off of that interstate. But clearly these cars have no idea what's ahead of them as police continue to follow this pickup truck. Originally, we heard again that this truck was stopped due to some traffic violation. According to police, attempted to ram one of the officers' vehicles, and then that's what started this chase that has snaked its way through the downtown area of Kansas City, and then as we saw on I-35 and I-70 right now. But you just have to wonder what the mindset is of a person who is willing to drive the wrong way on the interstate twice, clip at least a couple of cars throughout the process, and who knows where this person is headed right now.
Yeah, it's hard to tell you can't predict any of this. Now we're seeing him spin out a little bit in the area that's the grassy yard there and a gate. Oh, we've seen him clip a couple of vehicles there and twist and turn. And again, we've seen him go from the southwest side of the downtown area through downtown, wrong way on both I-35 and I-70.
When you take a look at that toolbox now that appears to be open, it's somewhat becoming dislodged from its position right behind the cab as this truck continues to get so close through intersections, hit another car, and perhaps this is the end of it here as we are reaching the crescendo of what we believe to be a police chase that, well, no, there he goes again. I mean, and I say he, we presume it's a man, although we haven't been able to verify exactly who is driving or if there is somebody else inside the passenger seat. Krista, have you been able to determine if it's just one person in this truck?
No, we haven't. From our vantage point, obviously a bit distracted by the fact the person was driving I-35. I know if Brenda's behind the camera there in SkyTracker, she can sometimes do a very close zoom in, and she can adjust it slightly to see if we can see into the car. This is northbound on Askew, right at 12th Street. If you 10th and Askew now, we're being told. And again, as Mike mentioned, that toolbox there, or utility box there in the back of the truck, flapping open. You can see a ladder there in the back of the truck. Quite a bit of wear on the top of that truck.
Okay. We're also told, too, Krista, that police are trying to position stop sticks, those sticks that have the spikes on them to deflate tires, attempting to prevent him from getting back on an interstate, which we have seen him do, saw him do twice, I-35 and I-70. And it appears that this SUV, this police SUV, is trying one of those pit maneuvers where they tap the back of the car, forcing that person that is being chased to spin out, but just can't seem to get close enough yet. But you want to talk about a remarkable afternoon that we have witnessed so far, just within the past 10-15 minutes, so close to becoming a really difficult situation for so many motorists who really, again, have no idea what is coming. They come across this truck, and then they see the police that are chasing the truck.
You know, we watch this and you hear about police chases where police have to make that decision about continuing to pursue or letting up, and different municipalities around the metro do this differently. But KCMO has always been, at least from our coverage vantage point, pretty aggressive at trying to get someone if they feel they can do so safely. So having seen this truck go the wrong direction on 2 interstates at a fairly good clip, to see them running stoplights, actually, this is eastbound Independence and Hardesty, by the way, actually coming into contact with a couple of vehicles and passing several other school buses. Broadway. Oh, so the left is where the person was going the wrong way on I-35 and then exiting near Broadway, and then on the right is the live picture that we have. But there's another school bus. That is about the 4th or 5th school bus we have seen since we started monitoring this, where that truck comes within a pretty close distance of a school bus here at 3:26 on a school day, a Tuesday. It increases concern a little bit, and it makes you wonder at what point. So this is eastbound Independence and Newton now. We're getting reports from SkyTracker or where we're going and turning. If we could, Sean, I don't know if you can pull up just sort of a map of the city to put a little dot about where this is happening, then we can put that in a double box. We'll get on that and have it for you here in a few, if you are in the area and having a hard time keeping track of where this vehicle is traveling. But any more information, Mike?
No, but you start to wonder what is in the back of that toolbox as he continues to make these sharp turns, and who knows if that could be a potential hazard for the people just trying to get around him. You mentioned 3:30 almost here on a Tuesday, and now it seems like we lost them underneath the railway overpass here. Is that a dead end?
No, oh, here we go. It looks like someone is out running. Do you see there at the top of your screen someone climbing through the trees and branches, trying to get over the fence, through the fence?
All right, so
this is pretty much over. It's just a matter of how quickly someone can get to him. We're seeing police do their best.
And usually there are barbed wires on top of fences around towers like that, and it appears that officers have finally taken this driver into custody after leading police on a chase that snaked through the streets of Kansas City into Independence, and in the meantime going the wrong way on I-35 and I-70, but thankfully no major collisions with people who are just happen to try to go about their way on this Tuesday afternoon, and this guy is in cuffs.
And you can see there they had 2 or 3, 4 police officers potentially rushing in there. We can make out 3 at least as they were cuffing him, maybe even a 4th. And
yeah, you can see that barbed wire. Yeah, I think he got tangled up in that as he was trying to, who knows what he was going to do as he tried to scale that fence. But several officers now have him into custody, and they have to retrace the steps, retrace the route that he took, and figure out exactly what it was that he was running from, whether it was just that traffic violation or potentially some other issue that he did not want police to discover.
so we're trying to get a location on where this ended here for you. If you follow this, the left-hand side of your screen is the chase that developed, and as he moved through the wrong way on the interstate and frontage roads here through the city, coming to an end here when he got out under a railroad overpass and ran, tried to climb a fence where there was barbed wire over the top of that, as Mike mentioned, and several officers. Let's show you a map of where this has ended so you can get a good idea. And we'll continue to develop this and work on developments for this story. But this will zoom in. Wilson and Winchester is where this ended. So if you can kind of make out this part of the city, you can tell this is about the vicinity where this has come to a close here in this commercial area where you can see there's quite a bit of equipment there. We'll continue to follow this and get more information, folks. We're back on the air here at 4 o'clock for the Now KC, and 5 and 6 throughout the evening. If there is more to share, we'll definitely give you